for the words you gave to her. She painted that town. She painted that town. Dark words from a light and angel. As we were looking for our souls. Connie, we were looking for our souls. Dying for the blues. Dying for the blues. And Connie, she passed away that day. Thank you for the words. Thank you for the words. She shared that day.
My name is Donald Morin. I'm a filmmaker and interdisciplinary artist who has a company called Eagle Feathers Film and Music Manufacturing Corporation. Intergenerational healing, what is that? What I want to do is to find your part in helping heal a society with scars and tears, Canadian society. As a 60s scoop survivor, I can only share from a personal experience of dealing with the issues of assimilation and colonialism. When I was interviewed by the Edmonton Journal for the Alberta Apology, I first asked, what are you going to do for the people? Well, first of all, we must develop trust as survivors of the 60s scoop and residential school experience. Trust is built on truth, facts, and not propaganda. At Collections Canada, Peter Menzies, a Sagamok Anishnawbek First Nation's academic, wrote a great paper on the issues of intergenerational trauma. He came from foster care, just as I came from foster care. So, how can we resolve the relationship of Native and non-Native relations in Canada when you're dealing with residential schools, 60s scoop, and all the variables that defined our relationship to Canada's First People? Between 1840 and 1983, over 100,000 Aboriginal children were placed in residential school. That fact is from the United Church of Canada. Other facts dealing with my own research, over 100,000 children were placed in foster care. What I want to do is use music and the arts as a form of healing tools and guiding tools to help these survivors of the residential school and 60s scoop experience. Ultimately, though, it is how we manage our cultural baggage in dealing with issues that we deal with as people or individuals in society. What I would like to do is break away from those societal stereotypes of the victim, the activist, the professional, and show us as normal people, just like you or I. We will provide nurses, counselors, academic advisors, and solutions and dynamic workshops to find their voice in a society that has lost its voice. One notion to find a voice is to go to a river, think of all those negative issues of your life, collect some rocks, and place each negative issue on the rock and throw it in the river. This will symbolically get rid of the baggage. At the same time, while we're dealing with these issues, a lot of things are going to come up from the body memory. We will have nurses and counselors and cultural advisors to help them deal with those issues, as well as substance abuse issues, one day at a time. During the 2008 apology, governmental levels of support were all over the place dealing with Harper's apology. People were barely coming to terms with the intergenerational traumas that were arising out of that apology. Linda Gray of the Urban Native Youth Association wrote, "I can only imagine how the meaning I can only imagine how meaningful the apology would have been to the Aboriginal community if Harper has chosen to walk the walk instead of talk the talk of reconciliation. There was confusion, acceptance, and hesitation. But from the grassroots level, when my partner and I were creating PSAs for the survivors, many fell off the wagon, many were abused, and taken advantage by others, and taken advantage by family members as well. The overall benefit of the 2008 apology was short-lived and was not worthy of reconciliation or any grace. So what can we do to help? Well, first of all, with your help, we can create a 9-month training program to help build the trust and find new ways to tell their story, improve their skills, to secure work, and further schooling. All 9 persons will be hired through a proper HR manager, and 1 project manager will be picked out of those 9 people, where 4 youth and 4 older adults will comprise the training program participants. So how can you contribute to this society's program? Each trainee will get a $2,000 living allowance. The cost of the project to start would be $498,300. The cost of the program will be a start of $498,300. This is the basic cost for a nurse, a counselor, performance and art instructors, support workers to feed the group, and others to provide technical and cultural support. The cold hard facts are this program cannot begin without help from the private sector. Your support will show government agencies the importance of staying committed to positive change and committing to one's word. Your contribution will begin to build a base and future for the members of this project and society. The time to create change is now. Money raised will be used to maintain the continued success of the participants and continued success of the program. Tying in with this training project will be the film project, Talking Stories, Who Is Your Name? This is a global Indigenous project that deals with resolving the societal relationship of Indigenous people to colonial values, unceded territory, and creating a balance for Native and non-Native people in all countries, in all continents. This is a sense of urgency in a time of climate change, pandemic, frustrations, and trying to find balance in a systemic racist society. So how can a country continue to think it will prosper when its former governmental systems and societal members blatantly stole the land and resources of this country, where racism was prevalent, where people turned their backs on the First People and pushed them to reserves and faraway places? We can change all this today. So the conclusion is, this project is going to be tied into a new awareness of global understanding of the needs of Indigenous people worldwide. Finding balance to society and the world. That's what we need today. Be Canada's contribution today. Chip in and give us a helping hand. Miigwech, all my relations.
Dying for the blues. And Connie, she passed away that day.